Hello, hello, hello. This is Elizabeth and Elton Brewington with Discover Brightside, the video podcast that you all love so much. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button because that shows that you like this channel and it keeps us alive. I'm so delighted because, as you know, this channel has a lot of authors and we have a lot of people that like to read. And one of our goals is literacy. So we feel like when you actually meet the author, you're going to buy their book and you're going to read it. So I am here today with a wonderful author, Peg, and Peg has been on my show, and an eye for joy. So we're going to get into the studio and we're going to meet her and talk to her, and we hope you're going to buy her book and write a review. So hi, how are you? It's
I
been a
am
while.
very well. I'm speaking from Minnesota, so it's a little on the, brisk side outside, but I'm very happy to be talking with you.
And you look so nice and warm and cozy. Yes. We all complain about the winter, but then when summer comes in, it's the time to wear your best clothes. So tell me about this book and share with me your journey.
Thank you. The book is called An Eye for Joy, Noticing the Good World Everywhere. And the book springs from a group of essays that I've been writing for a few years. And it's grouped by the idea that everyday joy is available to everyone. That in fact, this world, how difficult it is, and we know how difficult it is still full of beauty and wonder and moments of joy and the possibility for connection with people, and that those things are the things that actually sustain ourselves even when the world is difficult. So it's a book of short essays, and each one is about a moment of joy. And I believe this about humans, that you can get into the habit of noticing joy. So it's like self-sewing. So the more you notice about these little tiny little moments or bigger moments, but little tiny little moments, the more you see them, the more you see them, the more you see them. And that's a good stance for passing through the world.
Yeah, there's this movie with Ray Charles, and there's the scene about the hummingbird and how he gets her to listen to the hummingbird. And I think many of us, since we live in the country, like this morning, I had robins and bluebirds sitting on my porch. Um, and you start to listen and you start to
Mhm.
appreciate. And I think that's what your book did for me. Because there are two things that we do is we want to have more empowerers in the world so that
Mhm.
we empower ourselves and empower others. My community is veterans and military, and it's very sad that many of them commit suicide. They can't adjust after the military life, like walking into Walmart, when there's no guns and bombs blowing all around them. It's a change. And then PSTD is another area that we talk about a lot on our show. And so I think your book really resonated with us because the world is beautiful and there's so many lovely things. And if we focus on just being negative and meeting negative people and watching negative news, you need to focus on the good side of life. And I think that's what I got from the book. Um,
I entirely agree with you. The world is very beautiful. It is, as we said, it can be very difficult. But another aspect of the world that I think is that the world comes at us in an enormous flood every day. Every day there are things coming at us, and it's a conscious act to pause long enough to see the beautiful and wondrous and and witty and funny things that are already passing by. You have to make a choice to see them. And the more you do that, I believe the more you see.
yeah, I agree. And suddenly it's like your glasses have now been more defined.
Yes.
So you actually have a lot of things in our rapid fire, so we'll get right to it. But in the meantime, I want everybody to get the book. It's called An Eye for Joy. It's available on Amazon, and it will soon, there you go. And it will soon be available, at the Brightside store in time for our women's conference that's coming up, and we actually are doing some fabulous things with the channel. So we hope you will join us. The 12th, we have an academic group that's going to talk about vaccines and the importance of keeping track of them. And then we have a former recruiter who's going to give you tips and advice on getting hired. And then we have our whole day session on the 19th. So we will definitely be talking about your book. We'll definitely have your book in our bookstore as well as our featured book for the month. I think it's a must for every woman. And Peg, you're right. We are not living in normal times.
We're
We are
not.
not living in normal times. So you should appreciate every breath, every moment that we have. That's
And the other thing I would say about it, Elizabeth, if I may interrupt you, is that it's contagious. When you see more beauty in the world, somehow other people are allied with that idea. I've spoken to a lot of people since this book was released in November, and inevitably there are people in the room who say, "I feel the same way. I feel the same way." It's a good reminder to remember to notice the beautiful things because they're there.
During COVID, Elton and I would go to the food bank, pick up food, and then
Mhm.
distribute it to different people, especially seniors, because they were homebound and they couldn't get to the grocery stores. Um, and then people saw us doing it, and then
Mhm.
they decided, oh, I have like 20 friends. I could fill my car with boxes of food and start to distribute it. And soon we had like a whole little distribution center. And Elton had this 85-year-old woman who had her whole neighborhood. So as soon as he arrived, it was like a little truck that arrived, and everybody came to get their boxes. And I just said, it was amazing how good can just expand. And suddenly, from two people, you now have a power of the whole community getting involved with helping neighbors and feeding neighbors, and just doing what they're supposed to do.
That's really a good way to say it. Good can expand, and
Yeah,
it expands regardless of the presence or absence of COVID. There is
yeah,
plenty of capacity in the world, plenty of need in the world for what you're describing.
yeah, yeah. So do some good today. There's lots of things you could be doing. You could call someone up. You could
Mhm.
open the door for someone. You could help someone with their groceries from the store into their car. There's a lot of good you could do. You could smile more. And so there's a lot in this book that I think you absolutely should get. So, um, an eye for joy, and make sure you get it, and we'll make sure that you have the information available to you. So thank you for watching Discover Brightside, and write a review. All right.